Alright, today I'm doing front brakes on a 2015 Buick Enclave. First thing you want to do is put your e-brake on and I'll get started. Here's everything you should need. A 22mm socket for your lug nuts. You can use a socket and breaker bar, whatever you got. Pry bar, hammer. Normally you don't need them, but I needed it because a couple bolts needed a little persuasion. A wire brush for cleaning, 13mm socket or wrench. Brake parts lubricant, piston depressor, and brake parts cleaner. And that should be about it. You want to carefully pop out your center caps without scratching your rim up. There we go. Next, you want to put your jack in under a good jack point. I usually do on the control arm. Just take a little bit of weight off the wheel before we pop those lug nuts loose. Now you get your handy wrench. That's a 22mm. Alright, now you're going to want to pop loose this guy and this one down here. You're going to need a 13mm socket or wrench. Alright, once those are loose, pop that off. You want to pull these out to inspect them, make sure they're not seized up. These are a little stuck, but not bad. We'll re-lubricate those and pop off our pads and pop these off. Clean it up. I'll show you when I get done. And before you get too far in, you'll just want to make sure your pads and your hardware match as well. Got that cleaned up and those snapped on there nicely. If those don't want to snap on there or lay flat, or you can't get your pads in there, you might take it off and scrape some more on here because you probably have some rust or some sort of debris build up, keeping it from sitting right. Also going to want to make sure you put brake grease on either end of the pad, just where it rests in the shim. You will also want to put a little bit back here where the pistons touch. I don't do that until after I put the pad on, so that way I don't get a handful of brake grease. Now before you go any further, you want to take one of your old pads and use it to push the pistons back into the caliper. Alright, once your piston's pushed back in, should slip right back on there, and then you'll throw these bolts back in and put the wheel back on. You'll be good to go.